I think politicians these days ought to be replaced with the mob. At least then your average guy would know where he stands. Or where he sits, depending on whether or not we already shot out his kneecaps. You know what I never worked out? How come people build all these homes with an extra dining room that no one ever uses, huh? How come no one makes, like, secret rooms and shit hidden under the floorboards? See, then I'd be willing to apply for a mortgage. I think if there's a God, he's a reflection of a man's personal desires. For example, my God, he's an old guy with a white beard who drinks Jaeger and watches a lot of John Wayne movies. Good in a fight, too. But that's just me. I just don't think people should laugh at a guy just because he's into comic books and video games. I think it's a healthy exercise for the imagination. So don't look so surprised when I rip your fucking nose off because you smiled at me. I know what you're thinking. If I had $1,000 for every fucking prick who calls me a weirdo, I still wouldn't have enough to cover their funeral expenses. Every man's gotta have someone to look up to. For me, it was always the classics. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Cookie Monster. Fuck yeah! If people were only nicer to each other, I wouldn't have to teach so many of them a lesson. It's like John Lennon said, "Oops, I did it again." What's funny is when some judge is like reading you the riot act, you know, and they're listing all the charges and they miss like half of what you did. That's funny. If you go to school and you never learn to read, that's like looking at some stranger and not picking up on the signals and then dying in a back alley somewhere because you didn't get the message. I tried to warn you, for Pete's sake. If you go to school and you never learn to read, that's like looking at some stranger and not picking up on the signals and then dying in a back alley somewhere because you didn't get the message. I tried to warn you, for Pete's sake. My dad said to me, "Dolfo," he said, "whatever happens in your life, don't you ever regret a thing. Be your own man and answer to no one." I thought that was a pretty fucked up thing to say just as he died a lethal injection. See, if you close your eyes and just imagine how it feels when your lungs fill with blood and your eyes are bugging out and you can't breathe from all the gunshot wounds, if people thought more about stuff like that, they wouldn't disagree with me so often.